We've been engaged in the state for over 14 years, and there are 88 programs now across the state in 15 counties. We're under the umbrella of the PA Audubon Council, and we're partnering with various conservation groups, including We Conserve PA, which runs the Environmental Advisory Council, Audubon chapters, and the Bird City Network. The Bird City Network is run by the American Bird Conservancy and the Environment for Americas, and they created the Bird City Network. This unites and connects independent bird cities and bird towns all over the United States, as well as internationally as well. I'm really proud to say we're the second largest program in the country now. So these are the different 88 bird towns in the 15 counties, and here in Bucks County we have 16 bird towns now, which is super exciting. There's a lot, we do a lot of work together, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that later. This is a little bit about the PA Audubon Council. There are 20 Audubon chapters in the state. The purpose of the council is to help serve the chapters and advocate for conservation and preservation of the birds and wildlife and the environment, to help share resources and ideas about conservation.
Just so
why don't you stick that up where you're talking? Thank you, Paul.
It might be hard for them.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We are an LLC under the corporate umbrella. They're a 501c3, so they're a charitable organization, and we're working with the Audubon Chapter Network to spread bird towns across Pennsylvania. We're working very closely with Bucks County Audubon, which Diane works with. She's the education coordinator and education director there. But they have 7 miles of beautiful walking trails. If you haven't been there, please go. It's amazing. They have a beautiful visitor center, amazing environmental education programming for all folks and all ages. Bird walk schedule that Diane does an amazing job at. She does really awesome. And they also have field trips and classroom instruction. So why do we focus on birds? Birds really are really important to our ecosystems for running smoothly. They eat over 400 to 500 million tons of insects per year. Our crows and vultures help scavenge carcasses to reduce diseases such as rabies, distemper, and plague. They also provide pollination services, and they help keep our mice and rat populations down. And as I was coming in, we actually had a juvenile red-tailed hawk on the roof here, which is amazing. Birds are just so beautiful, and they bring us lots of joy and very incredible as well. I just want to give an example of the red knot. The red knot's about the size of a robin, and it travels 20,000 miles a year. Goes all the way from the Arctic all the way down to the bottom of South America. Just a small bird, 20,000 miles. So that's just incredible to me. And they're everywhere, and we're watching them. There's 90 million bird watchers in the U.S., spending $41 billion a year. They help us know that if the environment is healthy. They're very sensitive to toxins and pollutants and can serve as an early warning system that something is wrong in our environment. And there is some issues here because our birds are actually in decline. Breeding bird surveys have showed that population declines are ranging anywhere from 30 to 77% or even more. And the numbers are continuing to follow. So the red knot that I mentioned, their population is down by 90%. So that's very concerning. So I want to give some... Sorry?
Why are they down?
I'm going to tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Good question. So these are some examples here. Our grassland birds, just to put a picture to the story here, the grassland birds especially are down. Their populations are down by 53% or more, really because of loss of habitat, probably pesticide use as well. Then our beloved Baltimore orioles, these are our migratory birds. They're hit by loss of not only habitat here in the northern hemisphere, but also in the southern hemisphere. And their populations are down at least by 28%. So the major threats to bird populations, to your question, is loss of habitat. There's 40 million acres of lawn here in the U.S., 2 million in Pennsylvania, and there really is no services, like ecological services for birds in a lawn. There's no food, there's no shelter, or a place for them to nest and so on. Cats are a big problem. 2.4 billion birds a year are killed by cats. Okay? Window collisions, at least 1 billion birds per year die from window collisions. Glass is very confusing for them. There's lots of reflection. Pesticides, 1 billion pounds are applied in the U.S., so it's really hitting the insect population, which in turn hits bird populations as well. Most birds use insects to feed their fledglings, so as the insect population declines, so do bird populations. Climate change is another big problem. A lot of times they're out of sync with food sources. They might come too early or too late. Invasive species are replacing our native plantings that are needed so much for food, shelter, and nesting. And then plastics. Plastics are bad for everyone, right? So there's 4,900 million metric tons in our environment worldwide. It takes 400 years to degrade, and 91% are not recycled. So that's a big problem for everyone. So what we're doing for Birdtown, Pennsylvania is to address these issues through engagement, education, encouragement, support, inspiration, and promoting awareness. These are some examples of what a township or municipality can choose to do as a bird town. A lot of these things you're doing already here in your municipality, but examples are holding native plant pop-up gardens, installing demonstration native plant, pollinator, and rain gardens, developing proclamations, resolutions, and ordinances to address these issues such as invasives, native plants, pesticides, and so on. So what we provide for your municipality is a statewide structured program with congruous goals, concrete resources and achievable actions, a framework for community networking with other bird towns and conservation programs, and also free training and workshop for your bird leaders, and more opportunities and success for obtaining funding. This is our beautiful website. This is a great landing place, not just only for our bird town leaders, but also to guide your community members to go to this place for resources. It has a ton of information on it. It also gives a list of all our conservation partners and bird towns. And then we create a special back page for bird town leaders that includes contact lists for the program and other programs, workshop and meeting recordings and supplementary documents. And also we have a library of proclamations, resolutions, and ordinances. I did spend some time with Brittany and her team to talk about the different resources that are available for the Bird Town Committee. We also have a number of touch points with our Bird Town leaders that include our Bird Town Flyer. This is our bi-monthly e-newsletter. Also Birdbeat, this is a community newsletter to really inspire and inform your residents about what they can be doing on a seasonal level to support birds and wildlife in their area. And then finally we have the Bird Town Forum. This is our private Facebook page. This is a place where our Bird Town leaders can share their events and then also provide read inspirational materials and articles. This is an example of our workshop series. This is what we are offering this year. We've already had two. Our next one is, we just added for September 4th, learn more about the return on environment, really sharing about how important our environment is and the value of that. So that will be a really interesting workshop. We have someone coming for that. On September 25th, we're talking about native plant ordinances and their potential impacts. This is working with Laura Makefield and Jim Bray, which you guys probably know already. Jim's going to be coming and showing his work with the native plant ordinance and how that's impacted not only their township, but many of us. And then finally, we're going to be doing Nature Meets Nurture on October 23rd, talking about is supplementary housing and feeding really beneficial to our birds. So Bird Town Clutches. So we have 2 meetings a year. We have a spring gathering, we have an annual meeting. These are virtual because we're across the whole state now. But I think it's really important for us to come together in person. So we have regional meetings called Bird Town Clutches. I have a play on words. This is a chance for the leaders to come together and talk about what they're working on together, where they can collaborate and network together, and then also talk about what kind of regional issues they could be addressing as well. So and this is usually within their Audubon chapter territory. So you are in the Bucks Bird Town Clutch. And this is our Bird Town Clutch. This is the Bucks Bird Town Clutch. They met in last year. They were meeting at Churchville Nature Center and coming together. We all worked together. We did a big sit. I guess last year we did it in Central Park in Doylestown Township. It's a chance to all come together and just observe all the birds that are around, make a list. We actually won that particular designation from the Philadelphia Birdathon that year. So we're organized by 5 strategy areas: municipal actions, school district and youth related actions, community and individual engagement, organizations, collaboration, partnerships, and advocacy. Really on our Bird Town leaders to be working across the community with different organizations and programs, working with our youth and also at the municipal level. We're also a 4-tier program, so that's kind of a certification level requirements. So all bird towns, all municipalities that join the program start at the green level. You have a year to move up to the next level. Right here it explains the different ways of moving up to the different levels of bronze, silver, and gold. Some jump, straight up to gold, depending on what you're doing, and I think probably Buckingham is the likely candidate for that. You're already doing a tremendous amount of work here. This is a strategies, goals, and activities worksheet. This is to provide inspiration and guidance in planning for your Bird Town Committee. I've been talking with Brittany about this and her team about the different things that they might be wanting to do to move forward. There's 2 really important threats in the activities worksheet, including habitat enhancement and addressing those threats to birds to really focus the effort to really do all that we can to really help support birds and help bring back their populations and support them. This is a welcome packet that I went over with the Bird Town Committee, all the different things that one gets becoming a bird town. So finally, congratulations Buckingham Township, you're number 84. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the effort to Brittany and Diane Smith and her team for the EAC for making this possible for Buckingham Township. So congratulations. Does anyone have any questions?
No, but I was going to suggest next time your clutch comes together, you should go down to our wetlands.
Oh, yes.
There's not a kiosk, but I guess a kiosk.
Gazebo.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
And it's amazing.
It really is. I've walked back there a number of times. It's just really, really pretty.
Yeah.
A lot of birds there too.
Yeah.
Really
and we need to remind our residents to go there. It's such a peaceful place to go. I need to go there.
Does anyone have any questions from the public at all? Well, thank you so much. I'd like
Thank
to
you.
do a photo with
Yeah.
everybody with the
Do
supervisor.
you have, and could we put some material out on our front desk?
Yes.
Okay, Brittany.
Yep.
Oh, good, okay.
Yes, it's a mount.
I'd like to get a photograph with all the supervisors and the team.
Sure.
That'd be great with the signs that we're receiving.
Listen to the birds.
What's that?
Listen to the birds.
Yeah, my dad's gonna love it.
There we go. There we go. Right, there we go. Who's taking it?
I hate grapes.
Who's taking it? I don't know what else. Hang on, I'll look you up.
I'll hold to me.
I put the pressure on Glenn.
There we go, bring it in.
And get into the garden.
Hey, Brent, don't screw up.
That's what I said, you have a lot of pressure on you now.
Oh, I
It's in our tomatoes.
Get out. Look at it.
Are we all going?
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to hold the sign?
Just stand up.
Make sure I have it right side up.
Oh, okay, it's a real sign. You okay? You okay here?
Hold on, maybe one person come over this side. That's the mom in me.
Can you get us all in?
Yeah. One more.
All right. Appreciate that. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I get very much
Wonderful.
on
So
what they
good
call
to
you
see
support.
you.
Great to see you too. Thank you for all the work.
So where we put that?
Oh, that's good.
Where we put it? Well, we should put it where people
Thank you so
see.
much for all the work.
Oh, no, are these staying here?
Yes, ours.
Ours.
These are ours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Organizing.
Oh, yes.
I'm slipping.
So, yeah, John, they go on the road, so. I'm following John. Yeah, I'm following John. There he is.
Hey.
Prominent road in the
Just.
Prominent road in the town. Right, I'm saying that here. Hang it somewhere. That's awesome.
Paul?
I agree that doctors agree with
Thank you.
Paul. See you.
all right, goodbye.
Thanks again, everyone.
Public comment.
Congratulations.
Yep,
Okay.
okay.
Public comment.
Public comment.
Right there at the mic.
Public comment.
Yeah, the mic, right the mic.
Are you going to give us something? Okay.
Hand you guys out something.
Thank you.
I have 3 of them, I have 4 maybe. I don't know who wants to get them or,
Leave one for Dana, I guess. And I'll look over her shoulder.
there you go.
Hmm.
I didn't realize I was following Birdtown USA.
That's okay.
I know.
Somewhat
That's
related
okay.
to Birdtown. My name's Kurt Alderson. My wife Gail Alderson is here. And I'm really here, I appreciate your time for 5 minutes or so to just listen to a problem I'm having. And I'm really here just to get advice and a recommendation of what I can do because I'm out of options. I've done everything and it's been going on way too long.
And what's your address? I'm sorry, just for.
It's in Dalton Glen.
36,
36,
434.
34. It's on the first page.
Okay.
It's my home.
New
Our
Bowl.
home is the lower one.
New Court.
We've been there since 2005. I grew up in Doylestown. Love this area. Although I'm a Central Bucks West grad now, we're in East Territory. But I love the area, and we've been here a long time, and that's my home. And I'm having problems with someone that lives behind me, and you can see from the first page, it's not his home doesn't face mine. I'm on the very corner of his property. But I see you guys have been scrolling through the pictures. What has been going on is 3 years ago, August of 2022, I did have some water problems, and I spent about $50,000. I had 2 landscape architects come in. We dug a 12 by 12 by 12 seepage pit. I brought in a lot of shrubbery, as you can tell, sort of made a bird sanctuary back there. There's 2 bird houses and playa feeders and a bird bath. It looks a lot better than it used to with the water problem that I had. This was 3 years ago. My neighbor, who on the first page is the one that's, his property is all the way over to the left. He doesn't face my backyard. It's about 14 feet of my backyard is attached to his corner of his property. He called the township on me, stating that I am no longer allowing his water to go onto my yard. Rich Myers at the time was very aware of it. The township knew exactly what I was going on. No permits were required, but Rich Myers came out at that time. Since he didn't get any satisfaction from the town, he, right after the landscaping, the fall of 2022, just started putting junk in the backyard. Then come the spring of 2023, he said he's going to file a civil case against me. I said, okay. Civil case was March of 2023. I showed up with our attorney. He showed up with his wife, no attorney. Maggie Snowd ruled in our favor. Ever since then, it's gotten progressively worse. He took the law into his own hands. He's tried to put reflectors facing on our property to make the sunlight shine in our face. He's hung hoses. He's put his bicycles out there. He's put wheelbarrows. He's put fake Christmas trees with the Christmas lights still on it. He's just tried to do everything possible to harass us. My lawyer has written a bunch of letters to him saying, knock it off with the child stuff. Stop doing this. He just continuously challenges and only makes him more motivated to harass us more. My lawyer said, you know what, just get him out of your life, put up a privacy fence, which I did, which is the fence that you see. I hate fences, but I did it just so I wouldn't have to look at his junk.
Yeah, that looks like it.
These are pictures from what it looks like today. The second picture is obviously all the yard work, the landscaping, everything that I did. And now he's hanging his stuff and putting signs above the 6-foot privacy fence. No cameras. He's against. I have the advice of my attorney. He told me to put cameras facing down on the property line, not facing his house whatsoever, because right after my landscaping was put in, he was digging on my property. I paid to have a survey done. He was tampering with the survey stakes. The survey report states that he was digging on my property. So my attorney advised me to put cameras up. Maggie Snow said they were totally legal. He's called the police on me. The police said that the cameras are totally legal. You can see save trees. I guess he's saying that now he thinks his water problem is the result of me, that his trees are going to die. So that's what those pictures are. He's hanging ladders. He's hanging twirly. Just all stuff to harass us. And the reason he's doing this is it really doesn't affect him. He doesn't see it, but it's in our direct view. I called the police on him once because he covered up the camera when he kept on digging back there on my property. They said he wasn't allowed to tamper with the cameras. I'm out of options. I did talk to, I know Rich left and Lisa Gerhardt filled his position. I talked to her about, is he allowed to hang stuff above a 6-foot fence? I was only allowed to go 6 foot high. I hate the fence, but I did it at the advice of my attorney saying, just get it out of your life and not worry about it. Lisa said, at least the brief phone conversation that I had with her, that they can't have laws for everything. So I looked into the landscape architects that I dealt with back then and said there's got to be municipal code, ordinances about signage or about nuisance. I did look briefly into them. The signage, yeah, I could probably go after them and have them get a permit for a temporary sign. You'd have to take them down. But he's going to just not have signs. He's just going to hang junk. Nuisance, from my understanding, is more of noise and trash and odors. I don't know where to go. And that's why I thought I would come to the Board of Supervisors meeting to I don't think anybody in Buckingham should have to live with the harassment that we've been putting up with now for 3 years. We've done absolutely nothing wrong with the exception of winning a civil case that he doesn't agree with. And he, according to Lisa, has been here into your office a lot, and we'll talk to anybody that listens to him. This is the first time I'm coming in. The only time I called the police is when he physically put a cloth over the cameras so I couldn't see what he was doing. I just don't know where to go. My attorney said, if I'm a believer, you should never sue your neighbor. You should be a good neighbor and work things out. But he was so irrational in the civil case that he filed against me that Honorable Maggie Snow advised us not to talk to each other. So whenever he tried to talk to me in the very beginning 3 years ago, I said, just talk to my attorney. Go through my attorney. So my attorney said, a civil, if we go sue him, nothing's guaranteed, and it could. I've already spent way too much money on this, and I don't know where to go.
And I can't imagine, there is, I don't think anything we can do about somebody hanging signs in their trees.
Who's your lawyer?
Glenn Kimball.
Okay.
He's with a firm in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, yeah. Good lawyer, I listen to his advice. There's nothing really that the township is, you've talked to Lisa, that's good.
Is there an ordinance that perhaps Lisa isn't aware of or something that I could look up? Because I would think hanging trash in trees to harass your neighbors has got to be an ordinance.
Yeah, we don't have an ordinance against for being a bad neighbor. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I understand.
And whether you hang a birdhouse in a tree or, I don't know. He's obviously only doing it to get a rise out of you.
As my attorney told me, and this was another attorney, Rob Gunlock, and I also talked to Bill Goldman, friends of mine, and yeah, the advice is don't do anything that's going to put you in jeopardy, which we haven't. We've done nothing, and I feel like he's just stepping all over us for the last 3 years and continues to get gradually, if it doesn't affect us, then he does more.
He can't come on your property.
Well, he already dug on my property, and that's in the survey report, but, what are the damages?
And also, the thing with the signs is that, if you have a business, right, there's sign permits, but when it comes to free speech, you have to be, when I say you have to be, I meant we as a community
People.
have to be careful because he has free speech rights on his property. He can do, anybody could do crazy signs. So, and I'm looking at everything you did and listened. You obviously have done your due diligence. We hear this, every once in a while we hear things like this, trust me. And we, as a neighbor of Buckingham, believe me when I tell you, we feel what you're saying. But what we can legally do is, another story. I'm glad you came to us because once in a blue moon, there is something that a resident doesn't know that Craig, will say, hey, well, that is illegal or something. But in this particular case, am I right, Craig, in saying with the signs and stuff, there's not much?
Off the top of my head, I'm not aware of an ordinance the township has, that would prevent someone from hanging signs or something like that. There are ordinances about unkempt properties and that sort of thing, but I don't really know that would fit under, this would fit under that rubric.
Yeah, a lot of that is like when you get really
high
high
grass.
weeds and
High grass.
things like that.
Yeah.
Are there any nuisance laws? I mean, every window of our house overlooks these signs, and come the winter, when the leaves fall off the trees, this is what we look at. It's humiliating when people come to our home. It makes my stomach upset every time I look out the window. It's been going on for years and years, and it's so upsetting. We've spent so much money, and we've done it. We didn't even know this guy before we did our property. He started coming over when we were putting in the seepage pit and started taking videos and getting in our face about it and telling us that we were now going to kill his trees in the back because we were getting rid of the water. And he sued us, and we won, and we were ruled in our favor, and we've spent even more money with the fence, and we have children, it's so upsetting. I can't even look out the window. And
Was there a monetary judgment when you won?
No, we didn't
He
sue
tried to
him.
sue us.
He
He
sued us.
sued you, and you were okay.
Oh, he sued you.
He sued
He
us.
sued us,
in front of Maggie
and Maggie Snow asked if we were countersuing. We said no. She mentioned our daughters. We sit on their back porch. We love our back porch.
Well, and your yard's beautiful.
And they just our daughters can't understand it. In fact, our little one was saying, I'm going to go over there and tell him, why is he putting his bicycle in the trees? And I'm like, Ashley, do what you want. You can go over there, but I'm telling you,
I wouldn't send her over there.
Yeah.
No, I know.
He sued us.
But
saying
he's
that
done.
We can't that we did something wrong by putting in the seepage pit and our gardening, because then it kept the water from flowing onto our property, and now it's going to sit on his property where it's coming from and kill the trees.
And can I tell you something? Usually we're up here over the years, and it's literally the opposite.
Yeah.
This is a first, because usually it's like, they're dumping water on my property.
Yeah.
Almost always. This is the opposite of what we hear.
And she said, there's nothing that they've done wrong. They're just keeping the water off their property.
Right.
If you need to mitigate the water, then that's on your property. And they're unwilling to spend any money. They didn't hire a lawyer. We hired a lawyer. We've spent $50,000 in our backyard. And then we have to look at these signs. And we have called the police. We've been coming to the township for years. And we just don't know what else to do.
Well, we haven't come to the township.
Well, no, we've been speaking to Rick, and we spoke to Lisa.
Yeah.
To go through all the right channels. So
Yeah.
we just feel like our lives are in his hands, and there's nothing that we could do.
And this would have all been, I guess, if we had an HMO in our neighborhood, they wouldn't have allowed it. But
Yeah, HOA,
Yeah.
The HMO might not allow it either.
But the HOA, yeah.
I mean,
He's run out of options, so he's taken
And
the
his
law
trees
into
are
his own
fine.
hands and
This is
doing
3
this.
years ago, his trees haven't died.
Well,
I just,
you asked about nuisance. I mean, nuisance is a common law action. In other words, it doesn't have to be statutory. You have that right, which has come down from common law forever. But you're talking to some good lawyers. And you should probably work with them and see what you can do and take their advice. it sounds like they're telling you don't want to sink a ton of money into this.
They're all saying you could easily go 6 figures and there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So they
Yeah.
recommended we come here.
Yeah, but there's no,
Well, I think
yeah,
they
there's
were-
no, we don't have a law against being a
I
bad
think
neighbor.
they were exhausting, maybe we knew something our zoning officer didn't. And that's probably why they did it. And trust me, we are ones to help neighbors. Sometimes we've had both neighbors in and we've been, just talking, we've been able to work it out. But a lot of times it's really hard.
We don't get that, we get this, we get this once every 6 years. I mean, there'll be someone with a batting cage.
That was the same.
Yeah.
And the whole neighborhood doesn't want to hear the batting cage, so,
Yeah.
but it doesn't happen that often. This, I don't know what to tell you to do. I don't know if you put up a higher fence, I mean,
Not
go,
allowed
Well, you
to.
can't.
Going-
You're not allowed.
You're not allowed to.
And he would put it above that, trust me.
He would
And-
just
and-
put it.
And there was, a neighbor said, just put up a big tree, he'll move it.
yeah.
Anything,
No, he just sounds like a jerk.
he just, he doesn't have anything else.
I mean, I just looked up their name. Is his wife a real estate agent?
He is.
She is?
I don't know if she is, I know he is.
Her
And I
name
know
is
he's
listed.
been in here a bunch of times. You've given him, no, just like he lost in court, he's losing with the township. He's lost with the police, they don't even
Yeah.
want to deal with him anymore.
No, the police don't want to deal with this stuff.
Well,
It's not a crime.
petty stuff, and it affects no one but us.
Well,
'Cause we
you've
look at
dealt with the water the way
You're supposed
you're
to.
supposed to.
Could have gone up.
And, if he has a problem with his own water,
He's
there's ways he can
Zero
deal with
money
it.
into it,
That's not
and
going to.
Yeah, I know.
I really think it's a game of his now.
Yeah.
He lost in a civil case, he lost with you guys, he lost with the police, so now he's just gonna harass us until we.
I think it's good though that Craig knows your lawyers and they're good lawyers. I mean, that's good information.
They're expensive lawyers.
I know.
Yeah, and if you're talking to Rob Gunlock, he knows every ordinance that Buckingham
Yeah.
Township has, so that's
True,
good.
yeah, tell us what ordinances we have.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, there
There's
is,
just no ordinance that I'm not aware of, or,
Mm-mm.
like, I know there's like permanent signs and temporary signs.
But usually that's businesses. This is.
or
free speech.
if he put it up
Or
on his front
political
lawn
sign.
or
Yeah.
a public thing, but those ordinances aren't for somebody who wants to hang something in a tree.
And
Yeah,
he won't
they're
hang signs
tough.
anymore, he'll hang bikes like he's
I
done.
saw a ladder,
Well, that's a good
or
point.
whatever this is, a ladder.
Yeah, it looks like a ladder.
Yeah, there's been hoses, bicycles, ladders.
I mean, it's just, he's,
And I was told I can't go above 6 feet with privacy fence. I'm like, well, then how can he go above 6 feet and harass us? And the only reason I had to put up the fence was to block his junk that they put back there to purposely harass us. So I appreciate your time if you think of something.
yes.
I mean, the only
Please
thing,
let me know,
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing I would say is, I don't know, like, we have a friend that planted trees like this in their backyard over in Devonshire, and they became like 30 feet tall over a couple of years. I don't know how tall these are gonna grow, but, Mark and Michelle's trees went up 25, 30 feet. There's no,
Are they arborvitae?
Yeah, they
These
are.
these are,
The
I hate
giants.
looking at the fence, so they are, they keep their leaves on the.
Evergreen?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what they're called.
Well, they're great, but they're gonna take a few years to grow high.
yeah.
There are, and again, depending on the species, but there are ones that do
Yeah, 'cause
grow
this
quick.
could-
and-
Yeah, this doesn't look like it.
and
They might
he's
be
just
chip
gonna
off,
keep
I
moving
think.
those signs,
Couple
Short.
even when they
Yeah,
grow.
kinda neat.
I
Mark and
mean,
Michelle put in like
Yeah.
8-foot trees, and they went up like
He's awful.
It's a game
20,
for
30
him.
feet.
Yes,
And it's a
It's
solid
a
wall.
sick game.
It surrounds their whole back lawn.
For no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like mental health issues. But,
How long
Don't
has he been there?
He was original in the neighborhood,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
so he was there 5 years before me.
Wow. My brother was
And
original.
never met him until this.
yeah,
And I've had two family members that lived in there. One on Lovering and Newbold, actually.
that's where Lou lives, around the corner from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And the original owner. Also, it's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for listening to me.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
yeah, but thank you for coming and asking us, because you never know.
And, yeah, because if we can think of something,
Right.
we've
Yeah,
got.
the only thing I could say is trees, but,
yeah.
like I said, Dan said arborvitae, but, I don't know what my friend planted, but it grew really fast.
I think they
Since you
were.
put the fence on, is he coming onto your property?
Not coming on my property, digging right, I mean, my fence is off the property line and he digs right up to the fence. So I was
Yeah, so
like,
your
he's
fence is
undermining
what?
my fence.
A foot or two off your property line?
Yeah. And there's no, I guess you can't say there's any major damages. Yeah, he's broken it, you can see in one of the pictures, any camera that I have out there, he put a sign, one of his real estate signs, in front of every single camera. And it's a cheap real estate sign, so when the wind blows, it's banging into the camera and broke the camera, but, what is the damages on that? $50 for a new camera.
Yeah.
That is the creepiest thing.
But I appreciate your time, I'm sorry, I thought
Sorry
I
about
had 5 minutes and.
Yeah, that's okay.
I wish we could think of
Summarize
something.
it as much as possible.
Yeah,
No, that's.
no, the
that's why we-
pictures,
And I'm glad, I
explain
went to
everything.
all the trouble that
Oh, I
to do
have 3
this.
years worth of,
Yeah,
tons of pictures,
crazy.
How long have you lived there? You said?
since '05.
20 years.
Oh, 5.
This is a strange question, but how does an ordinance get created? Like, could we work to get an ordinance created to protect us somehow?
Or protect any resident
Yeah.
that ever experiences what we're experiencing.
The only thing I would say about that is,
I just think.
the type of ordinance we're talking about is a sign ordinance. And like I said earlier, it's.
Or a junk ordinance.
Or junk
Or
ordinance.
junk
say a
ordinance.
sign, because he'll put anything up
Is it
there.
a
Correct.
harassment?
Can you hang bicycles 6 feet above?
Yeah.
On your,
I-
on your, on your,
I guess, I
Would
just,
be
But I think as you say, as you do an ordinance, like, then they just come up with
They're gonna do
something else
something
and
else,
then
Yeah.
yeah.
keep doing.
If it was a all-inclusive harassment or a nuisance ordinance, then there would be all different ways that you could harass or cause nuisance to your neighbor. That's not public-facing, but it's directed specifically at them with the intent to harass them.
I mean, that's a,
think the problem, like-
harassment's a criminal charge, it's not
Yeah.
it's not a land use.
I think the problem could be enforcement of that too. Because I mean, obviously, I'm not saying your situation, but what someone might view of their neighbor's yard to their yard, like, sometimes it's not at this level and, we'll get a call, we don't like, what they painted their house, the color they painted their house, like something where you wouldn't care probably at all,
Yeah.
but something like that. And so some of those ordinances that are like vague like that are generally nuisance or harassments or property things, it gets tough because it's like, what you end up in the middle of the resident battle and which side do you take and that kind of thing. So it's hard to put that down in an ordinance, unfortunately. And as you mentioned, I think, if you said nothing above this height, it'd be something else.
and it's so, I'm even embarrassed to come here and waste your time on this, because it's so petty. Like Maggie Snow, when he filed that case against us, she's like, do you think this is what the taxpayer money should be going towards?
Yeah.
And it's so petty, but it does affect us.
Yeah, but it's
every
Of course
single
it does.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just us.
Right, it's your home,
Yeah.
it's your home,
It's our
but,
home.
yeah, it's your home.
Well,
And I disagree with you. I don't think it's petty at all. I think this is one of the reasons why we're here, and honestly, this is public comment. This is why you're a resident, you're allowed to make public comment. And if believe me, if we could help you in any way, that's why, we're listening. So, and it does affect you. I wish there was like some type of, like a tent wall, like if you have neighbors, you can block them down there so you can at least sit outside,
But
But
if I put one up,
the
we'll do it.
weird
We'll
thing
do it.
is,
Yeah.
he's got a much wider border with it your neighbors
He
to,
will not do anything to the neighbors.
that's great.
Because they can put up, they can harass him. I have no reason.
Oh, because he would see it from his
He
house.
doesn't see it.
Okay,
He
His
doesn't see
driveway is to the left of our property. He never would even need to walk back to our property line.
I'm sure he drives into his driveway every single time thinking, what more can I do to harass them? And I know he won't do it to my neighbors because he's in direct view of them and they could retaliate back.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah.
then get your neighbors to put up something.
But now Dana's our manager, but she's also an attorney. So when she gave you that advice, I mean, honestly, it's just not what harassment is part of the criminal code, not part of the zoning code.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
if,
So,
the attorneys that I talked to said, yeah, you can spend
And the
6
police
years
don't-
to win the case and
yeah, and
they're
the
not enforcing it.
the police don't.
Yeah.
This is a neighbor
Enforcement.
issue. The police don't want to get involved in a neighbor issue until it turns into some kind of criminal
Criminal.
issue. Yeah.
And that's probably what he's trying to get me to do.
Well,
which is
yeah.
something-
Then you need to
I
get your
would
other
do
two
that.
neighbors to
Yeah.
put up signs.
Yeah,
They don't want to get involved.
I
No,
know.
because they don't want-
Yeah.
No, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to
wouldn't do that
get them
anyway.
involved.
Nope. So.
I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you
If
very
you
much.
ever think of something.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate your
Absolutely
time.
will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
It's
night.
a great neighborhood.
it is.
Great
And
neighborhood.
the great thing about
Yeah, her
that, the
cousin
thing I
lives-
love
her
about that
cousin lives
neighborhood
in
is it's
Yeah, the dinner
so many of the
bars,
original and
Yeah.
way back neighbors.
They're getting to be much younger than us.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
switching over big
We
time.
just lost a member of our planning commission who lived actually in Dalton Glen. He and his wife just moved to a condo in Doylestown,
Oh, okay.
so he moved out, but, yeah. But it's still, there's still a great
Nice
core of
neighborhood.
original
Yeah.
neighbors
Yeah,
there.
is. All
So.
right, is.
All right, well,
Okay.
let us think.
Okay, we appreciate it.
Okay. Have a good
Yeah.
night now.
Yep, thank you.
I don't know why I can't log in.
Okay, before I do the announcements, I just want to say that we had an executive session, and we spoke of legal ongoing litigation and potential litigation. We discussed some zoning hearing board issues, the Feeney and Braw, and we also spoke about the Froelich litigation. So that's what we were about. Tomorrow night.
No, do you have public comment?
I do.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Step up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good?
Yep. I apologize. I thought
No,
you were here for
so-
something else, one of the things on the agenda.
All right, so my name's Aaron Sharp. I know some of you up there, 4 of you probably know me. I have the Benargo track on Durham Road. So, you see my 4 kids. They're all foster kids. 2 of them are adopted. Elijah, the tanned one. He's our autistic child and also has other severe mental issues. This project has been, when I say a nightmare, I mean literally a nightmare. We're going on 2 years. Yeah, literally coming up on 2 years from things I was promised, things that was said in the meeting conference room before I bought the properties. Me and my wife, as you can see, my wife's not here, because after I broke the news to her, finally I had to tell her that we lost an adoption because of this whole mess up here. She's now gone. I know where she's at, but she needs to get out of the picture because she's like, I can't deal with this. We've lost so much financially, on the verge of literally losing everything. She's beyond hurt, frustrated, upset that things that we were told, promised by many people, we've been ignored, been flat out lied to. I mean, my attorney has sat in that conference room, flat out lied to on many things, and it's just gone so out of control. I have talked with Dana back in March, April, about things like, hey, like the pre-con, you got me the pre-con, but it was already too late. And I had that feeling that was going to happen. And then even at the pre-con, some things were said that was, even Bob Rutherford, my land guy, was like, Aaron, this was never mentioned, things cost more money, and it just went out of control, and the agency was like, we're done. They're like, clearly the township's lying to you, they're just going to keep BSing you, milking you, whatever it is, they're like, you're never going to get in. They're like, you just need to either walk away from it, lose it, whatever the situation is. I don't know. The agency's done. And I had said, and I stand by what I said, this will be going public. When everything is in the works, It's literally, could make a simple phone call and the whole story is blown up from the story from day one that started in that conference room. Like I said, I didn't do the adoption, pay for the adoption with me and my wife until we had the meeting on things that I was told and guaranteed we could be in by the end of 2024. So we did our due diligence, had the meeting, we asked our questions, then we went and proceeded with doing these things. And then things just were unfolding. I could go through a whole story of dates. I mean, one of the biggest frustration I think for me that set me back was March of 2024. We were told in that conference room before we bought the land that I didn't have to post escrow, they were gonna hold my building permit. That turned out to be a big lie, because in March, there was a board meeting, I wasn't aware of it, my engineers weren't aware of it, the attorney wasn't aware of it, there was a board meeting that happened here that said escrow had to be posted. Nobody knew about it, so we all sat in the dark. She's not here, but somebody in the township leaked it to somebody, got back to me in June, so 3-4 months goes by, and says, oh yeah, we're just waiting on Aaron to post escrow. Well, I didn't have $400,000 sitting around, just like I told Lori in the very beginning. I didn't have the money to buy another lot. Now I understand, and I've learned from somebody who wants me to keep Lori off of the lawsuit, about, me and you talked before I bought it, you're like, get both lots, we'll work together, we'll get everything done. It'll be faster, easier, because both lots, land development had to be done at the same time. So that, I'm going to say you and he can do so much, from what my understanding is from this person. What? So, turn around and have to then post $400,000. No bank's giving me $400,000 on escrow. You know what I mean? Like, I had everything approved for the land, for the house, not for two, definitely not for escrow. So it just turned into a huge disaster, and then everything just sat. Insurance turned into a total disaster. We had to sue Craig because he kept blowing us off. And I wanted to sue a second, third time, but I guess you can thank Dave because Dave talked me out of it. And I think he's...
They're fine.
And wait.
They're fine.
In case something breaks. So...
Who told you don't have to post escrow?
that was said in that meeting before I bought the properties.
Did he sign a development agreement?
There is a development agreement before he purchased it that was recorded that he had to transfer it to him to develop the property, which requires the escrow. So I don't recall it being said there was no escrow for it.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna go into crazy details. It will all come out. I think one of the bigger things for me that was also frustrating was this was last summer, like August, I would say. One day I was in talking with Lori and Jill, and I was told I need to get a signature from Joe Benargo. And I know he obviously, Benargo tracker or whatever, right? And I'm like, this has never been mentioned to me ever. Like, what do you mean? And everybody under the sun told me the guy's so hard person to talk to, I guess, to work with. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Within 48 hours, I come back with a signature. And of course, I get a story from him. And he shared quite a bit of story. And I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to cover it. I was told back in the day when this got subdivided, there was a deal that was made or a favor, and that's why these properties are being done the way they are. Meaning, you have to get both of them at the same time to do there's a history to it, and there's some stuff in writing. Listen, I have Dave as an attorney, Dave Splaskowitz, sorry to say his last name. We have personal attorneys, foster attorneys with the kids and everything. And I have another attorney. We have another attorney. They're all aware of this whole situation. There's only so much Dave knows. Dave's only involved with this part, but involving my children, everything else that's going on, the finances has cost us, we don't get answers, or we feel like we're just constantly being lied and jerked around to. That's where this other person is coming in. And they're coming in with the foster agency, with the foster lawyers, with Judge Yeager. I mean, they've been aware of this from the day one, because before we moved anywhere with the agency, they had to come and check the property, make sure everything is safe for the kids. One of the main things they loved about the lot was, I call it a horse farm. I know it's not a horse farm next door, but they love the fact that there was horses next door, because it's very good therapy, especially for Elijah. And we got to know the lady there very well, and Every time we do go, we feed the horses and all that stuff. But we're not gonna be living there because everything is turning into a disaster. But I just wanna get up and share it, because I don't think some people up here maybe know it, some of the story. And I'm just saying, this is literally a fraction of the whole thing that will be coming out.
Okay.
There are some other people up, that's not up here that's gonna get named. And like, one of my things is, like, for example, I know with Dan, we had a meeting the very, very beginning in the conference room. Very, very beginning, before I bought it. People have said Dan Gray's strict, he likes things like this or like that. I said, hey, that's fine, everybody has, different building inspectors, or some more strict than others. I said, just say what you want, and that's what you get, But there's a lot of things that, the biggest thing we were told was, stick to these plans that haven't been touched in 15 years, and some things just haven't been true. There's been some things now as Bob's been out there, we got kicked back on, it's just like, it's like, you guys can change the rules, and I just keep getting screwed and milked for money. I mean, I remember.
You bought a plan, though. We didn't change the rules from the plan. Whatever's the plan is the plan.
And things have changed on that plan, not by mine.
Okay, well.
By who?
It wasn't by us.
Yeah.
Even
Wasn't
when
by
we
the
sat-
township.
Yeah, if it's
Even
a
when we
fit.
sat in that room with, in the concert, for the pre-con, we found out we had to do all these different silk socks, six fence, all these different fencing, and Bob was like, Aaron, he's like, that's
The
not.
conservation district, not the township. It's a county.
It's because soil conservation. That's the Bucks County
And
Conservation
we found out we have to
District.
bring all this clay and stuff in now.
Because the soil on your site doesn't meet the requirements of your plan.
But on the plan, that's what I'm saying, if we stick to the plan.
Your plan required specific soils that your engineer put on the plan that you have to put in. I didn't tell you not to have those soils on your site, they apparently weren't on your site. So you can't compact the soils that you have. That's not, I didn't do the testing on your site. Your predecessor may have, you may have. But when your soils consultant came out, the soils wouldn't compact, so you had to go out and get additional soil. That happens occasionally on job sites that don't have good soils. I'm not developing your lot. I didn't do the testing on your lot.
Or
That's
the
your
pl- or the
soil
plan.
consultant. Or the
No.
plan.
You did the plan, or Bernardo did the
I didn't
plan?
know, I didn't do the plan.
Well, someone did the plan.
Yeah,
It wasn't the
no,
township.
15 years, legit 15 years ago. Maybe 16 years ago. They
And
were doing
then-
it a long time ago.
Again, I'm just telling you, your soils did not meet, and I even told Bob this. I said, have your soil engineer sign off on it and we'll be okay with it. I haven't seen that. So that's, we're waiting for your soil engineer
I know
to
Bob's
do.
fed up. Bob's fed up, he's ready to walk, and which puts me in an even worse situation. Just because I know he wanted to do the septics a while ago. The septic said that we could have done it last year. We told Bob, no, it should be done this time, and Bob's like, when I say it's a mess, it's messy.
Doesn't
The
the
whole
Bucks
thing's
County
messy.
Health
But
Department?
that's the
So the
county,
septic cannot be put in until the erosion sedimentation control is
Okay.
put in.
Yeah, Bucks County Health Department does septic. Yeah, Bucks County Health Department is gonna do the septic, but like
But
Dan said.
the conservation
so-
district wouldn't allow you
Conservation,
to do
yeah.
Bob
disturbance.
said, and I almost thought there was an email where you told him no, he had to wait.
Right, because your
Because
plan
the county-
requires
The county requires you
certain
to
things to
do
be done before you get to
The
septic.
septic.
When I know Jeff Brown, Van Cleef reached out even last year, because Jeff was even saying, and Sam was like, well, why don't you please get the septics in? It's just, it's one stepping stone or whatever. He's like, because we've had every single permit since March
The
of last
county
year.
won't let you put the septic
We
in.
have permission where they said we did on the septics. We could have done
Right,
the
but-
septics last year.
But your plan requires you to do certain things in certain stages, and the septic was not in the beginning of that. That was after the basins were built, which you haven't built yet, was after certain improvements were done, is when your plan said that septic was supposed to go in. And if you recall, when we talked to the conservation district, they say follow the sequence, and that was the direction.
I got it different.
Did they tell you you could do the septic?
We were told last year, yeah. We
By the
were-
conservation
By the
district?
Conservation
Yeah,
District.
Amanda, right?
Yes.
It was Amanda? Yeah, so I think there was Amanda and another person
who's the email?
he was talking to, because Bob had asked last year, like, in the fall, September or something. He's like, oh, I can go there and put the septics in. That's why.
But
I
you didn't
was-
have your pre-construction until,
Well, the pre-construction was a huge thing that happened last year.
right, but normally the conservation district won't allow you to disturb properties
So-
until, again, unless you had another permit, which
No,
we
so-
weren't aware of a permit.
I don't know if it was Amanda or her supervisor, because there's so many people involved. But when we had reached out, Bob had said, and he knows Amanda from other projects he's done, They said, if you have all your permits, which we've had every permit since March of last year, and we've had to renew some because how long this has been going on for. If you have all your permits, you can put all the fencing up. And they said, that's fine. But yes, we cut the driveway in. I'll tell you right now, I don't care if this is live, I 100% did that on purpose, just to get somebody in this township to respond. Because we were getting nothing. I mean, like I said, you blew us off for 4 months, needing this escrow, blah, blah. So yes, I was like, Bob, cut a driveway in. Eventually somebody, Dan Gray's office is down the street. Somebody's going to get their attention and come out. I mean, and it did, it worked. Yeah, we got attention. But even Amanda was saying like, oh, you can put the fence up. The township was telling her, no, you can't put the fence up. When I say there's so much back and forth and nonsense, I want to know how much more nonsense do we have to deal with? Or should we literally just come and walk here and say, just give me the full escrow amount, I'm pulling everything off, belly up on the whole thing, because I don't know what else to do. Like, yes, I can go public with everything, and that's great, but at the end of the day, I'm still in the hole. Yeah, I mean, my family's still torn apart. He's not getting to the school he's supposed to get into. We lose out in adoption. Like, where, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does it end?
Well, tonight you're on the list for escrow releases.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
it's tied to
it's
the
tied
escrow.
to, it's tied to paying escrow, so.
And that's in the development agreement, that if you didn't sign it, the person you bought the property from signed it, and that is part of the process.
It's for lots 1 and 3.
Yeah, a $15,000 escrow to cover consultant costs. And then you've gone $10,000 over that, so you've got a $46,370 escrow coming back to you after you,
Well, do you have lot 1 and 3?
one,
Yeah, both of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, then,
But you're building
But-
on one.
yeah, but you're only,
One of the 2 lots.
Can I ask a question? I gave you approval of the soil back on June 9th.
I don't know. Jeff and Bob usually.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, the last thing that you were waiting for from us was the okay for the soils to build the berm, and nothing has happened in its, a month and a half later. Are you not working on the job? I mean,
No,
because
so I know.
we're getting complaints from neighbors about,
And it's weird because I just talked to her literally a few days prior. She was going to put an addition on her house, and then she calls and I'm like, wait, like, why didn't you just say something to me? I could have said something.
the point being is, like, you have to do certain things if you're not going to be doing work on the site. You're supposed to stabilize everything, which is what her legitimate concern is, and that's what I've been expecting to get. Like, hey, we're building the berm tomorrow, and we haven't had that for a month and a half.
The conversation I've had with Bob is when he had to stop for the soil testing or whatever. I know we've had tons of rain. There was a period like tons of rain, and I said, Bob, what's
once a week it's been raining.
And then he was going to go back, and then there's extra charges and stuff like that, and he was like, when you getting this escrow release? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, Jeff's put in for it, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, listen, he's like, I don't want to go so far, and Buckingham stiffs you, and he gets stiffed. And he's like, if I do this whole job, and he's like, and you don't get your escrow back, he's like, because you've had issues with township with money and everything else. He's like, I don't want to be coming to you, and you're still trying to go fight with the township. He's like, just put it on a freeze, and he goes, well, let's figure everything out. He's like, because he's like, I don't want to go in 200 grand in the hole, and he's like, and you're still not getting money back, or he's like, there's more kick. So I was like, you know what? Literally the day before, I was like, I see there's a meeting tonight. Let me just come in, stay a little bit, and just see what exactly all is going on. I'm not expecting to get the truth, because I don't think I've gotten the truth from day one. I can literally say the date, October 31st of 2023.
I've never met you before.
No, you or Paul.
So I'm going to say once again, you're getting $46,370 back.
After you post
But
25.
you're not getting it until you post a 25 for the escrow, for the engineering. Because right now we're going to give you the money back, but there's escrow. Because if we don't have escrow, you're going to run up engineering fees and lawyer fees, and then the citizens of Buckingham are going to pay for it, and we're not paying for your new house.
I didn't expect anybody to pay for it.
Okay, so then we're fine then. You'll get your money back tonight, and once you pay your $25,000 that you have to have in escrow for the other fees, you're going to get the $46,000
So you
back.
see what I'm saying? I got to post $365,000.
I don't know what that's all.
Wait,
No, that's the construction,
that's the site.
the construction site
And I
inspection.
was told I didn't have to do that. That's the issue. That meeting, October 31st, I was told you were gonna hold the building permit on the houses. Hold on.
That was an agreement signed by Benargo. That had nothing.
No, that came out of your mouth, and your mouth, in that conference room, October 31st.
Yeah, because it
with
was-
my attorney present, with my wife, saying, yes, you will hold it, because, again, I'm the 5th person to buy these lots, so there's a history of stuff. And I was told, because I guess people, when they buy, they want to get away around the land development, I guess. You know, they don't want to do the trees or whatever. So they said, you'll hold the building permit on the house, make sure all the land development got done. And I said, agreed, I can do that, because I don't have $400,000 to post for escrow. That's not how we approach the bank, and everything knows what the bank give me that for an escrow. So, no,
Yeah.
that is 100% a lie that came out of that room, because we never would have moved forward if we were told we had to post escrow like that. I would've been like,
Do you
oh,
recall-
we can't do that.
Do you recall signing on the 24th of September 2004, the residential development agreement?
I might have, I signed a lie.
You did. You did with the advice of your counsel. It lays out in that agreement all of this. It tells what has to be done, what has to be posted, when, where, how. Follow the agreement, you're fine. You signed it, you agreed to it. That's all the township is doing. The township's following the agreement too.
So what about the whole year prior to that? The township can ignore all that happened?
No, this is dated September 24.
So we go back to October 2023. Like, I paid $5,000 to worry to come in and have that meeting. We asked our questions because we were doing an adoption. You know, we're doing things. We had to be in by a certain time frame. We did our part in the right step. So again, if the township would have said, no, you have to post this escrow in this amount, we wouldn't have moved forward. We wouldn't, because I didn't make closing until December of 23. So we would have been like, me and my wife would have talked to me like, listen, we can't post 400,000. We don't have that. We'll just go look somewhere else. That's simple. We would have done that. But that was not, like I said, I go back every time to that date and in that room. And that's what drives me up the wall, because it's just a tipping point for me.
What was like?
I know I owe you guys money, but I feel like you guys just screwed me at $400K. Take it off the interest and collect it in a year.
Before you bought the property, you got a title insurance on it, didn't you?
Before I bought the property?
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Dave. I know he did a title thing on it. I mean, Dave
Okay,
knows.
so that title insurance would have had the documents in it, which included the original development agreement with Benargo, which had numbers in it in terms of what you were gonna have to post for escrow to do the stormwater.
But Dave specifically asked the question in that meeting.
It's in the paperwork. Who's
Yeah.
Dave? Is he your
The
lawyer?
attorney, yeah, they all know Dave is.
I don't know,
Well,
Dave.
I don't know who Dave is.
Greg knows, I'm sure Dana knows. Sure.
Yeah, so Dave didn't
Woods.
read the document and tell you what you needed to do?
Well, that's one of the reasons why we paid $5,000 to come in and ask questions. That was the whole point of asking questions.
I don't,
It's written in the agreement that you signed.
When did you said I signed it in September?
You signed this one on September 24th. There was, before you bought the property. There is recorded in the Recorder of Deeds office in Doylestown,
On
the
the plan.
original agreements that were done with Benargo that say, anybody buys this property, this is what they're gonna have to do.
Then why would you have told me something different then? That's my thing, why am I told something different in this meeting?
I'm not sure, what were you told that you're saying was untrue?
I didn't have to post escrow, you're gonna hold the building permit, I didn't have to post it. Exact number is $365,000 in escrow. And that's where my whole frustration, as long as everything else, yes, attorney fees and engineer fees, lawyer fees, everything builds up, it's been a year and a half.
And Mr. Sharp, I hear what you're saying, but I can tell you, and I wasn't in that meeting, but I can tell you
I know
this.
you weren't.
I've been around this township in different forms, even before supervisor. I came to meetings and sat out there for 15 years. I've never, ever heard, a situation where the township said you don't have to pull up escrow. Every single meeting, we release escrow from projects like yours, projects bigger, projects smaller. I wouldn't even know a situation that we would tell someone they don't have to put up escrow. It's just like, it's almost, I don't know what to tell you. It's almost like saying if you get a car, you don't have to have your license on you. It's just something, am I wrong in that, Dana? Like,
No,
why would we say
you're
that?
correct here. There's 2 escrow releases tonight. There's
Yeah.
one for Mountaintop West, $82,900, and then there's Benargo Track, lots 1 and 3, $46,370.18. So I don't know where this not posting escrow came from, but, it never happened. It doesn't happen in surrounding townships. It's never happened.
No, other
when I-
townships, you don't have to post escrow.
Okay,
I'm a builder,
Okay.
I work in other townships.
okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna argue that, yeah, but anyway, so then they just rely on you to pay your engineering, your legal fees then?
Well, it's not that, what you worry about is the public improvements that have to get
Yeah.
done. So that's what gets escrowed, is stormwater improvements,
Yeah.
detention basins,
Okay, so-
stuff that you need to make sure it gets actually built.
Yeah. So you're getting an escrow release tonight based on paying your past bill and bringing your escrow up to balance?
Right.
Okay, all that is one thing.
That's fine, I'm just telling you what we're voting on tonight, so,
Well, I didn't even come here for the escrow thing, I didn't even come here about that.
okay.
I
That's,
came here about my situation with my family and everything. It's, like I said, we're coming up on 2 years, you know? Even the fact I didn't get a pre-con until April 1st, and it wasn't because I had to keep, you know, like I said, I didn't get a hold of anything.
hey, listen, and the last lawsuit you were gonna sue the township over was because of the insurance, and I don't think the insurance is even finished yet. Yep, so,
No, how do I know, why am I gonna put out more money for insurance right now? I don't even know if I can afford to keep these properties. That's how
okay,
much-
then, yeah, that's something you have to work on then, but.
I know, but I mean, the
Yeah.
land development's not done, you know, because I believe, you know, paraphrasing a little bit, but Greg and Dave had agreed I wasn't gonna get the building permit on the house until he had the insurance, and the insurance was approved. So while the land work's getting done, we're working on the insurance.
Okay.
So let's just say figuratively, all the land development was done tomorrow, right? Just say it was. Say Dan Gray and everybody else approved it, was done tomorrow. Say I was in position to start building August 1st. Greg would be like, no, insurance has to be approved. And that's what I believe I remember signing off with Dave and Craig on the whole insurance. At this position, what has happened? Craig, does that sound?
No, there's 3 additional endorsements that I recall that we actually attached the endorsements to the letter. Said if your insurance agent would simply add those endorsements to your policy, you'd be good to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to get new insurance. We had to start over with the insurance, more or less. We started over with the insurance. No,
Your agent wouldn't give you the endorsements?
When I say it's messy, again,
Okay.
it's messy.
Yeah,
you know,
it sounds really messy.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And I understand you're frustrated, but,
I really don't think anybody really does.
you have to take it one step at a time, so, you know, you have to decide, first of all, whether you're gonna build these 2 houses or not, and then.
Well, I'd like
decide.
to, but am I going to be allowed to build these 2 houses? Like, that's my thing is from.
Yes, just follow the instructions on the
the-
plan, and you'll be able to build 2 houses.
follow
So
the
everything that's been done
agreement.
prior, we just erase things that have been said, talked about, all that gets,
No, it's not, it's all written on the plan, it's all
I'm
written,
going back to what was said in the
It-
meeting.
it's all
I
writ-
think I never should have bought these properties.
it's all written down on the plan before you purchased them, and then it's also in the development agreement that Bernardo signed or you signed, so.
And I'm just looking back to the recorded agreement, it was a record when you bought the property, and even then, that one required a relatively large escrow. It wasn't, Dan updated numbers, but actually, it wasn't an escrow, it tells the quantities of everything. You see it, Dan?
The original?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had, when it was approved without escrow being posted for McCardle. Or
Because he
not
wasn't
for
doing
McCardle,
stormwater
because for Benargo, because there wasn't any intention to develop it at the time. So that was what the deal I think you were referring to was that Mr. Benargo wasn't required to post escrow at the time.
Because he wasn't building.
Because he wasn't
No,
building.
that wasn't what he had said.
Oh, okay, that was the only odd thing about Mr. Bernardo's subdivision was that when he got done the subdivision, the board at the time agreed to not require him to post escrow because he had not anticipated on building the lots at that time. He wanted to record the lots, but that's why we recorded the development agreement so that stood in place in case someone bought the property, they would know what they would have to do, which outlined the escrow requirements. The only thing it didn't include was the specific cost of the improvements, because at the time, we weren't sure if it was going to be 1 year, or 5 years, or 10 years. So that's why there weren't any specific costs in the original escrow agreement. but the quantities were there, which are the same exact quantities that are in your escrow agreement when your engineer provided the cost estimate, what it would cost, and that ultimately, I believe either you or Mr. Shafowitz approved when we went through the whole review, the escrow numbers. There was not only was it in the agreement, it was in this whole build-up to the agreement where we gave you the number and said, this is what the escrow amount's going to be.
So that was summer of last year.
Okay, so we gave you the numbers and said, these are the numbers. And somebody on your team, whether it was you or Mr. Shafwood, says, yeah, those are what it's going to cost us to build it. That's what the escrow should be.
Okay, so I don't know if like, what I'm saying is not making sense, or you guys don't want to receive what I'm saying, and that's fine, because I know it's not getting anywhere. I go back to October 31st of 2023, and then March 12th, when thought we were going to be able to move forward, we had every single permit. Months go by, there was a meeting here about whole posting the escrow. I remember Dave had even sent a letter to Craig saying, hey, like, you think you would have told the owner, you think you would have told me, you would have told Van Cleef, you would have told somebody about this whole escrow thing, and, you know, I don't know.
It's in the agreement that I think we've provided you multiple times, and Mr. Shafowitz, I'm not speaking for Craig, but I know we've shared with you the original development agreement that Mr. Bernardo signed that said this is what you needed to do to develop the property. And if there was going to be a change to that would have to be approved by the board. We can't change a contract that the.
I'm not saying that. I go back to the very first thing. I never would have bought the properties if we were told we had to post escrow.
But you were told in the document that was recorded and given to you that said you need to post escrow.
Not before we bought anything. Like when we had that meeting.
It's what you signed when you bought it, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it was a recorded document.
Oh.
We talked, we gave you the document.
Not in that meeting.
You got it after the meeting, which said, here's the recorded document that's at the county, which you should have gotten with your title work.
We did, after we
He did.
came in, gave Lori a check for $5,000. We did an email, bringing in the people to talk. They say, you ask all your questions, this and that, or whatever, because we wanted to make sure we dot our T's and dots and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Dave had said, before we even came into the building, he said, hey, there's a history with this property. He's like, it's a messy history with the Bernardo tract. I was like, okay, well, what do you mean by messy? He's like, there's a long history, it's messy, Buckingham's messy. He's like, if we can work, and he's like, I'll ask, do we not post escrow, you hold the building permit? He goes, is that something you would do? I said, yes, because I don't have money for escrow bank, that's not how my bank loan's working. That was asked. So the fact that we were told in that meeting that was being waived, or holding the building permit, me and my wife, we talked about it for a few weeks. I think I reached back afterward. He said, hey, you know what, we're going to be moving forward. We're going to purchase the lots. And then everything just became a snowball effect.
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever looked at developing it. I think didn't it go to McArdle first?
Yeah.
Garland was owner number 3.
Yeah, and then,
I got some Chinese
but nobody ever came in and wanted to build on it. But all that escrow stuff is on the plans. And it's on the
It's
development agreement.
recorded in the development.
And
Yeah,
it's
in the-
recorded,
yeah,
and
so. Your lawyer.
and your
yeah,
lawyer had that paperwork, and it can't be
It sounds like.
news to the lawyer that this is part of a development process. I mean, this is pro forma.
Wouldn't that be his?
It's
Is he
pro forma.
getting the site,
Wouldn't his lawyer read it? I mean.
Well, the municipality
We got
planning
that.
to.
Like you're not gonna get your building permit to the site
Like,
improvements?
he's
for all
literally
the things
selling money out
done?
for a lawyer. Why
No,
is
that's
his
what the
lawyer
escrow's
read
for.
it?
The escrow eliminates
I am not
building permits
No.
for.
Criticize the
stormwater.
lawyer.
I don't know why he's getting-
Well, I'm frustrated for him. His lawyer, I mean, his
Well,
lawyer
but
should have read
we
it.
don't know what that situation is. But all that information is in the agreement that you got when you got the plan and agreed to it. And, I mean,
So someone.
information is there.
Someone's getting a check tonight once they pay the 25,000.
Right.
So we're gonna move forward and vote on this tonight.
Yes.
But you have to decide, if you can't afford to develop the property, then you
So-
can't afford to develop the property.
My thing is like, how much more of my fees and everything else is running up? Like,
Well,
I don't know, we're not building it, you are.
Technically, your fees.
You're
So let
building it.
me, you posted escrow. The escrow you posted was to make sure that all those things that have to be done in terms of subdivision of these 3 properties, which are listed in the escrow agreement, but it's stuff like the stormwater, the detention basins, all the
We're
things
missing
that
2
you have
kids.
to do to develop the property. So you've posted that. Now, as those things get done, that money gets released, and what you did, which was kind of really unusual, is you posted it in cash. Almost nobody posts a security like that in cash. You'll do it in a letter of credit or a bond or something like that.
I didn't even know that.
Well, that's not something
Yeah,
that
that's
we
something
would advise.
that's something your lawyer should
Yeah.
be
Specifically,
talking to
in
you
the,
about.
at the municipality's planning code, specifically says this is what you can do to post security. You can use a letter of credit, you can use a bond, you're welcome to post cash, but you didn't have to.
Yeah, I would have been.
And, I mean, that just,
So anyway, my point is at this point, you're gonna be working backwards. In other words, the money will get released as you do stuff. The cash will come back to you. Well, like it's going on tonight, Dan will review what was done. He'll say, yeah, all that stuff was done, and this is what we had set aside for that, so release that money.
No, I get that. My question, I guess, this would be then, when we get back to the insurance part of it, that's coming up real soon. Are we gonna have months where we're not hearing anything from you, or can we actually jump on this and not have this drag out?
It's gone the other way around, okay? I have emailed your insurance agent.
I know there's an issue with my agent as well. I know there is, listen, me and him have had some, good going at it. And I've now been working with his other agent in the office.
That means you're starting over again.
I have sent,
Kind of.
I have sent
Hmm?
to Dave,
What?
to your lawyer, they're cute. I have sent
Don't say my story.
a pro forma, like, here
Yes.
are insurance policies that have been
Okay,
accepted
now that you
before.
said that, Dana, remember that conversation? I said, why, I had asked that months prior. I said, can Craig send something saying exactly what he wants? And we were told, oh no, we can't do that. Then months later, after March, when you were talking, then you got it for me. And I'm like, well, we've wasted 6 to 8 months. I'm like, why?
No, but I sent it to you again in April.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but we started
twice.
insurance August of last year. So 8 months.
No, the agreement that you signed specifically calls out the insurance requirements. Now, I'll be the first person to agree with you that insurance agents don't often understand insurance requirements. But these are classic requirements that are set forth in most government, PennDOT, all the other contracts. And if your insurance agent read it carefully and did it carefully,
He said he did.
well, okay, I won't go there.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my
Well,
agent is in the wrong with some things. I'm not saying that, because there are some things where when I started reading, when I had to get involved with it, my agent was Don, Ward, I don't remember, right?
Yep.
And I was like, Don, I'm like, if Craig asked for this, mention it like this. And he's like, well, I did. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, I don't know insurance lingo, but I was like, that's not that. I was like, I can't get mad at Craig if you're like, there is a lot of back and forth. But again, there was times where we couldn't get a hold of you for an extended period of time. That's what I'm saying. Going forward, can I have like responses? Like,
Look, we all,
you know,
yes, you absolutely can have responses, but please also understand that probably like you, we all have other things that
I
we're
know.
responsible to do.
I'm
and
aware
people
of that.
are all saying, hey, this has to be done tomorrow, that has to be done
No,
tomorrow, you have to be in court, you have to be here.
Yeah, we have.
So we do things as we can, as they come in the door.
listen, I totally understand that. But when it's months,
okay,
there's not even a response.
So Dana, you sent April and asked for something. So that needs to come back and then right? You just said April.
Yeah,
Have
the last time I emailed you, I haven't heard back yet, and that was, I guess, at the end
That's
of
because I found
April.
out we lost the adoption. I didn't know how to tell my wife yet. Until this
So find that email and get that
I have it, I have
information.
the
Okay,
email.
and get that information, and
The
then,
insurance,
you
my
know,
insurance agent has it.
that thing will be checked off. The conservation district issue is,
That's out of our hands.
Yeah.
we're
It's not- it's out of
we're
our
waiting
hands,
just for construction to proceed.
Okay.
He's stopped, so,
so,
So soil was approved June 9th.
9th, yeah.
So
okay. Okay.
that was approved June 9th.
All right. So, you know, but just understand that that was just approved June 9th from the Conservation District, having nothing to do
No,
with Buckingham holding
The
you up.
the June 9th was our approval of his soil
Oh,
project
okay.
to build
Yeah.
his berm. Because
Okay.
he has
Right.
problem soils
So
on
it
the
was a
site,
little-
so he
yeah.
has to bring soils in. So we approved that on June 9th.
No, I remember that, and I know Bob had called me because there was literally 2-3 weeks, we're getting these heavy thunderstorms
Yeah.
every day. Bob's like, Aaron, he's like, there's
And lots of
I
rain.
was like, I get that, whatever. Like, he knows like I want to get this done. I know he had stopped whatever.
Every week.
For rain reasons.
Yeah.
You know, and I think now.
If you're in construction, you understand rain reasons.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm trying to do an addition, I can't because we keep getting these thunderstorms, I'm not gonna rip the second roof off of it. You know, no, the rain, I get, you know, but I was like, I need to, with everything that's happened with my wife, with the kids, I need to come here, put some of this out, understand the frustration that's going on behind the scenes. It shouldn't take 1.5 years, you know, almost 2 years for everything that's been going on. I mean,
We've had people that's taken 8 years.
that's insane.
Yeah, it is, because they change insurance agents, they change engineers, they change architects. So, and then we have people that come in and they do it they build a whole entire estate within a year.
Buckingham Friends is my
Yeah,
name.
well, we see it all the time, so.
Okay, so we're gonna approve
Yeah.
your escrow, and based on you putting up, the escrow release is $46,370. You owe the $15,000 escrow, and you have about $10,000 some dollars in fees, which is all gonna come to $25,628. You're gonna ultimately, after you take away what you owe, there's gonna be $20,741 of the escrow coming your way. Okay?
Let me.
I brought up a point too, because it seems like you're only learning tonight that you didn't have to only put up cash. If Dave didn't go through them with it, but you can get a letter of credit from a bank, which is usually a lot cheaper.
Usually about 1%, maybe 2%
Yes.
of whatever the cost is a year. And you'll get that cash back. If you post a letter of credit to the
And I don't know,
township.
maybe, and I'm not saying anything against Joe and Lori, like, I'm not saying when I came in and I asked about, like, hey, this escrow thing, I heard check, so I just think you need a check, right? I mean,
No.
again, that's something I was
Yeah.
saying, maybe Dave just said
If
that, and
you
I'm not
wanna-
saying anything about Lori in the sense, like, she meant.
No, because and I had sent you an email explaining to and pointing to the development agreement for you for the legal and engineering escrow. That is a check, that was the 15,000
Yeah.
that I sent you, okay? But for the site escrow, the big number that, you know,
You still got 300 and.
yeah, you can do that as a letter
Give
of
us a letter of
credit.
credit, they'll give you the cash back.
And, yes, yes.
This is why you have a lawyer.
I know.
So you should go and talk to your lawyer, or maybe get another lawyer, but that's just gonna prolong things. That's how it turns into a 5 to
But
7
if
year
you get a
project.
letter of credit, and you need
Or
to
even a bond.
give your bond,
Or a bond.
No, I know the escrows, usually I come in, I was paying Lori or Jill, I know those had to be like physical.
those have to be cash, those are the
that's
smaller
right. No,
ones.
I totally understand.
But the large one, yeah, you gave us cash and we did hold it, and we're not getting interest on it,
I was
it's
told
just
somebody
being
from here, you guys.
something.
I'm not saying her name, but I was told by somebody. That's why I was like, what?
So,
Yeah,
yeah, if you
need
bring
a
a
lawyer.
letter of credit or a bond, we'll give you the cash back.
Yes,
And it's for what's left in the
What would be the balance?
and it would be the balance,
632.40.
yeah.
Alright,
And Mr. Sharp, for the record, we would want to welcome you to Buckingham,
Yes.
not turn you away.
Well,
Because this is a
I feel
great
like it's been
community.
the opposite, like,
I understand that's the way you feel right now, but I promise you, Buckingham's a great, it's one of the best
chose up
communities.
here, it was 2 acres, like,
Yep,
you know, they need the run, you know?
Yep.
yep,
And like I said, we need to get the one kid into Cold Springs here. You know, there's a lot of reasons why we jumped in this area, you know? And I felt like, again, whatever the place is next door, the horse farm, whatever, we felt like that was an added bonus. I don't know.
absolutely. And listen, we all have kids, I got 4 kids. I got a special needs daughter, so believe me, we want to welcome you here. So, like we just discussed tonight, hopefully this process will move on now that you understand a few things, so.
And I just also, it is worth the time for you to come here Because I think some of the information you've just gotten is gonna be helpful
Some
to
of it's a
you.
little alarming.
So, yeah,
And I would like to know what townships you work in that don't require escrow.
Middletown Township, I know doesn't.
Well, is that for a
Is
building
that for
permit?
building or down?
The building permit, yeah. for-
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the
yeah,
situation.
building
That's
permit's
different.
different.
See, what,
It's a new house, ground up.
yeah, no, yeah, it is, but what you have here is a land development. Okay, so in other
Even though
words,
it's just two
it's not just a
single
building lot. So what you have
Yeah.
to do is put in stormwater improvements.
Well, even with these.
Septic.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, Septic,
Buffering.
you don't, septic you don't escrow.
Okay, but
No.
buffering, there you have, it's not just building.
But our
hooking up
building
to-
permits, there's no, escrow
Yeah.
and
No
agreements
escrow.
for the building permit itself.
Yeah, I was
It's
told
because
by-
the
I forget the building. I get
Venargo
Jim-
checked.
Jim Kettler.
Jim
Mhm.
Yeah,
Keller.
yeah, I don't know why I get things mixed up.
Oh, Jim.
But he had told me, he was like, when the land's done, he's like, there's no more of that. He's like, it's a different process, different phase.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, I was like, I hope so, like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, no, he's like,
it's-
switch over, like, departments. in a sense, he was saying.
Right.
So,
Once the site improvements are done, you're just do a building permit, just like what you're used to.
Yeah,
What you're running into, which you're probably not used to, is the land development. This land
what
was
are we
never
expecting next besides
prepared to be
insurance?
subdivided. And in fact, I was just looking through the
Call
file.
to start the construction.
It was actually a deeded escrow if they didn't do the site
So he just
development.
needs to
The
get
stuff
the
that you
insurance
escrowed
done
for.
and then he
It was a
can.
deeded escrow.
well,
by
insurance
the
is,
lawyer.
we did
The
move
property would be
insurance to building
unsubdivided.
permits for him.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So he needs to get it done, but
I
he's
mean,
not, we're not.
I understand where you
It's like
are,
that
understand your frustration,
Okay, thank God.
but
Yeah.
believe it or not, you're just about around the corner in a known stretch, and
I
if you
feel
like,
like I am, then I feel like I'm not. So it's like,
if you want to get your cash back, get a letter of credit
Yes.
bond, and get your cash
Yes.
back. I know Dan will
And
work.
do more work. The more work you get done, the more
no,
you
I know
release.
that. I just know, like, we got the driveways cut in, and I wanted to get Bob, the extra charges with all the fences, so all that stuff, whatever like that, so.
Everything that you asked for that he's done, you've got released. We hold maintenance and removal of the ENS, so we keep a lump sum to make sure you remove all of the stuff.
Yeah.
But for everything that you've installed, you're getting, those funds released in accordance
Yeah.
with the way that the agreements are set up, so.
But just know on this release, because you haven't funded that legal and engineering escrow yet. I mean, we had some money over, because when you put up that original 5,000, I just flipped it over to your
Yeah,
project
yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
okay.
gonna collect it twice, obviously. But,
He's gonna get $20,000 after everything's paid off.
Right.
$20,700.
Well,
Yeah.
Can I get a letter saying that the developer, whatever the balance on those things has been paid, like, caught up in a sense, like, like, I get statements from you guys saying, hey, like, I don't know.
Jen,
I don't even know Jen.
Yeah.
she's the one who does your
I
statement,
just know
Jen.
I was coming in asking for Lori, and I think just because I had a
Yeah, once
Lori
you-
in the very beginning.
Right.
So will I get something saying that, like, those things are paid, or the balance is zero again, whatever?
Yeah, you
It'll
can
be
get
on
a
your-
statement every month.
Every month.
It'll be on your.
You get one,
Yeah, you're gonna have to refund that escrow. We're gonna send you a check when you refund the escrow.
I mean, you
We're not playing
yeah.
the back and forth game.
Because you should have gotten, this is a cover sheet, you should have had a statement on June 27th.
Yeah.
I mean, we mail, Aaron, we mail them to you every month.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I get them. I do know there was 2 months, I think it was Lori or
Can I see
Jill,
it, Dan?
and I went back, I had it fixed. So I'm 281 North Hawthorne. There's, I don't know why, the mailman sometimes gives it to 281 South Hawthorne, and the old lady doesn't want to come and give it to
Oh
you.
my God.
It says
Okay.
North,
Yeah, it
says
is
North
north,
Hawthorne.
we have north.
We have
Yeah.
North Hawthorne.
North Hawthorne, but the mailman, not you guys, the mailman.
I got
Because
it.
I came in one day, I was like, Lori, I was like, I would think by now there'd be like a bill, and she said, yeah, and I gave her a check on the spot, and I went to the lady's house, and she's like, oh, I just threw your mail away, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
okay, okay, but I got something serious going on,
That's
so,
illegal
Right.
too.
Jeez.
so like I may have missed them. Usually I do keep I keep papers, like I'm
Okay.
organized like that.
Mhm.
So, I want to
Okay, so
build.
she's gonna
I
send
want, like, I have houses designed
You know
and
what,
everything.
it would be so
Like,
much
I'm a designer
easier
myself. I
if we
want
just
these built.
approved this
Um,
and said we're gonna take
know,
out the money.
I think
I
originally we
know,
wanted
Dan
lot
didn't
3 to move into, actually it's lot 1 better.
Yeah,
You know, I
Do
feel
it.
like
Do that?
the-
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right, well, Aaron, tonight, why do, well,
But we're not
No,
gonna do, no more, no more. We'll do it this
Yeah,
once.
for this time around.
yes.
Yeah.
I think the staff would recommend for this time.
Yeah,
Because you have the 15 that you hadn't done in the legal engineering, and then there's a balance of a little over 10. I can tell you the exact numbers, but, you know.
yeah, we'll just,
We-
yeah.
We have your 46,000 and change. I'm rounding everything.
Yeah.
For your thing. Why don't we, take the 25 you owe out of that, move it into the legal engineering, and then we'd be able to just now cut you a check for the
We'll
rest.
give you the balance.
And give
And
you
then
the
you don't have to
balance.
wait for the mail and hope
Yeah.
it gets there.
Yeah, that's what we guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay? Because I just would like to simplify this so you can get on with it.
Yeah.
Instead of you giving money and then me giving you money back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then work on getting the letter
You want
credit
it, should we vote on it now?
No.
instead.
No, just when we're going through.
We're- Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what we're gonna do when we get to you, okay?
Which bank are you using?
Wow.
Bank.
I have 4 banks.
Okay, Craig, we gotta move forward with
Most of my
this.
business is with True Mark Credit Union.
Okay.
Well, you use
Okay.
First National.
First National, no, Wells Fargo.
Okay.
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 Smaller banks are easier to work with than like a Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo, trust me.
Well, thank you for coming.
This is
Thank
good.
you,
I think
Chair.
I
And I
think
know I took up your guys' time as well.
No problem.
No, but you have a better understanding, and now you also know what to ask your consultants.
And loyal.
Yeah.
His consultants,
Yes.
yeah, okay?
Yeah,
Okay, so that's what we're doing, so,
okay.
okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
have a good night.
thank you. Okay, I don't know if did I say this? Blood drive, coming up.
No, we
I
didn't do
did
any,
not.
we didn't do
Do
anything
the
else.
announcements yet.
Yeah, hold on a second. Red Cross Blood Drive, July 24th and July 28th, 2025, from 2 to 7, right here in the Buckingham Room. Call 800 Red Cross to schedule your appointment. Family fun concerts tomorrow night. I think it's a Billy Joel
Tribute band.
tribute band.
Yeah.
At Buckingham Township Police Department. This is the funnest thing ever. National Night Out 2025 at Peddler's Village, August 6th from 5 to 8. And this year there's a rain date, August 7th from 5 to 8. And it's just wonderful. And you should bring your kids to Buckingham Night Out,
Peddler's
Police
Village.
Night Out in Peddler's Village. It's so
We go
fun.
often.
Okay.
They could climb on the fire trucks. They'd have a ball.
We take them to as many things as we possibly can.
Good, good. All righty, so that's that. All right, I move that we consider approving payment number 5 to GS Developers for the Cold Spring Fieldstone Water Interconnect Project in the amount of $41,850.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
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 I move that we approve change order number 1 for BT-24-02, Cold Spring Fieldstone Water Interconnect, increasing the contract by $41,464 to a new contract total of $1,787,634.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that we approve payment request number 1, the final, to YC Contracting for the Campbell Track. Yay! Completion of site improvements, Township File SA 2001, that's why I cheer, in the amount of $35,175.
Second.
Can I-
All in favor?
Wait,
Can I make
wait.
one comment there was also a minor change order in, that we just had the contractor, there was some ENS and some changes to the outlet structures that we needed to get done while they're out there
In the Campbell Track?
in the Campbell track. So, no, we did the work, it was a 3,000 change
Okay.
order, so we had them do the work, but I just wanted to make sure it was clear that
Okay, good.
the original contract was 31,540.
Oh, so this is the
This is
This is the
beautiful.
final
This is the
part.
amount.
Okay,
We'll
that's
still have, we'll have to hire another contractor to do work that this contractor could not do. So
Okay.
we have
I
one
know,
more little
but-
thing, but it's close.
24 years. All in favor?
Aye.
I move that we approve payroll dated July 3rd, 2025 and July 17th, 2025, and the bill list for the meeting of July 23, 2025, in the
Se-
amount of $938,071.26.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that we approve the draft supervisor minutes of the June 25th, 2025 work session and the June 25th, 2025 regular meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Number 5, I move that we accept for inclusion in the township records, departmental minutes, and advisory board minutes, Safety Committee, June 25th, 2025, Planning Commission, March 5th, 2025, Building and Zoning Monthly Stats, June 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, this is great.
Yeah.
I move that we accept a grant from Penvest in the amount of $2,057,063 and a funding offer from Penvest, an approved low-interest loan for $615,089, both to be used for the Buckingham Township Hearthstone PFAS treatment project.
Second. Good job.
I
David.
have a comment. A special thanks to our state representative,
too.
Tim Brennan. He just did a great job helping, and we really appreciate it.
And I would say that the loan is at 1%. And for Jill and Dana, who found it and applied for it, and were able to work with our outside public officials to get it done. So we would thank also Jill for us.
Okay,
Well, and Steve.
and Steve.
Yeah, oh,
right.
sorry, and Steve,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
Okay,
And Steve.
all in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, I move that we agree to the developer's request for an extension of time for Covenant Presbyterian Church Phase 2A.
Second.
And the extension goes to July 26, 2026. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is this a parking lot? Dan? Is that
I'm sorry,
Covenant?
the Covenant is the entrance
It's
improvements along to they're putting a new parking lot and a new
Okay,
pretty entrance for I
okay,
think a
good.
school entrance in the front.
I move that we extend, we accept the developer's request for extension for Thomas and Ann Kelly Mallon for the stormwater facility development contract to August 24th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Aye?
Aye, thank you. Sorry.
That's okay. Number 9, I move that we accept the offer to extend the estates at Furlong, Township File SA 2024-02 to September 30th, 2025, and that's down by Harbor Point.
That's the time for the township to review the plan under the municipality's planning code, rather than the ones that were extension agreements.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that we award the 3-year award the 3 of the 3-year bid for the removal, my favorite,
Waste
removal and
sludge.
disposal of 650,000 gallons or more or less of liquid sludge on approximately 6,500 to 18,000 gallons more or less per week for contract September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026 to Wind River Environmental, DBA Frank Environmental of New Jersey.
Second.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, sorry about
no,
that.
that's okay.
Of Ivy Land, PA.
Yeah, no, I was going to say in the amount of, what, a penny? 1136
Yeah.
per
Are you
gallon.
giving them
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 11, I move that we accept the roadmaster's recommendation to award the 2025-2026 fuel bid through the Bucks County Consortium to Pilot Thomas Logistics of Grapevine, Texas. What? For unleaded regular gasoline and ultra-low sulfur diesel, and to Ports Petroleum, Inc. of Worcester, Ohio, for number 2 heating oil.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, yay. Escrow releases. I move that we approve escrow release number 1 for Thomas and Kelly Ann Mallon, 4899 Mountaintop Road West, stormwater permit, PSW 190013, in the amount of $82,982.84, according to Knight Engineering.
Yeah, well, as I was looking at my letter again, the number looked odd. There was a calculation error in my worksheet. Can I give you a new number that I
Yep.
recommend release? I'll update the certificate. It's $69,411.13.
Okay.
$69,411.13.
Yep,
So I apologize for that error.
that's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And here we go. I move that we approve escrow release number 1 for the Barnago tracks.
Benargo.
We
Benargo.
said it so many times. Benargo tracks, lot 1 and 3, SA 2008-01 and 0606062 on Durham Road, 3461 Durham Road, in the amount of, the escrow release is the amount of $46,370.18. However, the developer owes $25,628.99 to fund a $15,000 escrow for consultant bills, which hasn't been received. And also, he's over, oh my God, I had so many things, $10,682.97 already in consultant bills. That would total $25,628.97
those numbers?
bills escrow,
Okay.
taken away from the $46,000. He's going to get a check for $20,741.21.
Let's just double
I
check that.
think. Yeah, we'll double check this, so, okay.
I don't have the escrow number, so I'll have to.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
did it on my
I know,
phone. I
okay.
did it on my phone, so. Well, and we will based on double checking the figures with Jill. In a second.
Yep, second.
Okay. Questions, comments after all that?
Can't be off by that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. All right, I move, manager's items. I move we approve the purchase of a 2025 F-150 4x4 Super Crew Cab hybrid truck from Fred Beans of Doylestown in the base amount of $48,661 plus $20,589 uplifting for a total CoStar's price of $69,250.
Second.
Is this for Jim's truck?
Yes.
Yes.
And, he really needs a new one
Really
now.
needs it.
His last one
Yes,
got
Jim
towed.
Kettler. Horrible accident and
But he looks great.
broke his jaw, but it could have killed him.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
he's getting a safer truck. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that we appoint Michael Jamison to fill a vacancy on the Buckingham Township Planning Commission with a term expiring January 2026.
Paul second.
Okay? And my only comment is, I would love it if he could come in and meet us. I'd love to meet him. That's our protocol, and it would be awesome.
Yep, that's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
I mean, I see him regularly. But
Yes, well,
He's busy.
I don't know him, and
Yeah.
actually, Paul, you would know, on all the paperwork, his address, where does he live? It
He
says
lives in-
Buckingham, PA,
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, okay.
It's not,
Right.
nobody had their address on there.
No?
All three of
I
them
thought
had
it was
no.
so odd.
He goes,
I know.
does he live on Liz?
Liz?
Yeah, he lives on Liz, but
Good.
I can't believe the other two didn't have their address on there.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that. Anyway, all in favor, I think we favored.
Yep, aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Okay, I move that we approve the request submitted by Dan Gray on behalf of the 34 for Matt Foundation to waive a $50 park pavilion usage fee set by Resolution 2645 for the use of Hansel Park Pavilion for a fundraiser to be held on August 16th, 2025.
Second.
Dan, just,
And this is a foundation that we set up for my son's best friend from high school who was killed in a car accident 4 years ago. So we try to do it around his birthday, which is
Okay.
which is the 13th, but it's close enough, so.
All in favor?
Most of the high school kids come
I
back.
can't believe it's been a year already. I just remember doing this.
Yeah, I know, yeah, it doesn't dawn on me until I write it and then I realize how long it's been. It's been.
all in
4 years,
favor?
in fact.
Aye.
Aye. I move that we approve the request submitted by Anthony Menatolino on behalf of Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish to waive the $75 temporary sign permit fee by Resolution 2645 for signs advertising a rummage sale, August 6th to 9th, 2025, with proceeds to benefit local charities.
Second.
Questions, comments? All good?
Yep.
Good idea? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whoa, I think that's it.
Did you do executive?
I did. I have executive, yeah.
Yep.
So I think.
Do we have to talk about Barry Luff?
Oh.
Do we mention
No,
that?
we
or
don't.
Well, no,
It'll be on the next
We'll
meeting.
put it
You have
on
to
next
wait and
month.
get that on your,
On
The next meeting, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay? All right. Without any objection, I'm going to move that we close this meeting.
Second.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You sat through that.